damn near happened, I don't know how many years ago. And all of a sudden, the beauty community is up in arms and ready for some Twilight. So here we go.
Call me your friend. Call me again. Call me any time of day.
Hey everyone, welcome to an exciting video with Sniffthen. Today we're talking about Twilight characters. Yes, Twilight characters. It is not 2008, guys. It's 2025, but we're back from the dead. No pun intended. We gotta start with Bella, of course. And Bella is Kristen Stewart, y'all. This is like not her first role, but her first big breakthrough role. And I wanted to give Bella something dark because she's a vampire in the end. She's also super like mopey and awkward and all that sort of thing, like we know Kristen Stewart is. So I went ahead and gave her an awkward fragrance that is also dark, but at the end can actually be pulled off by a vampire because it is kind of sophisticated and put together, more so than other fragrances that are in the same vein. So I'm talking about Chocola Addict by French Avenue, Fragrance World, for Bella Thorne. It's an amber, chocolate, and warm spicy scent. This is a super interesting scent because it is very chocolate forward. It's delicious, actually. And we're talking about chocolate. Top notes of chocolate, amber, and tangerine, mid notes of leather and incense, and it doesn't really give base notes on Fragrantica yet. But I will say that that leather and incense gives it a very dark feel, a very smoky, vampiric feel, if you will. However, the chocolate and the orange together smell a lot like a chocolate orange like you would get from Cadbury or something like that. And it's kind of funky and kind of silly. And yet when it dries down, it can be a very sophisticated scent. It's a lot more put together than some other chocolate forward fragrances with citrus in them. I love this smell. This is a 10 out of 10 for me, but it's also kind of weird, just like Bella. Next, we're going to go with Edward. Okay, for Edward, I gave him what is said to be a dupe for DKNY's Delicious Night, which is hilarious because when I smelled this, I just thought it was very beautiful and very unisex for sure. This one has notes of blackcurrant syrup at the top, mid notes of rose, narcissus, jasmine, sambac, and cyclamen, and base notes of benzoin, incense, caramel, patchouli, agarwood, and oud. So it's a masculine kind of base, but the blackcurrant syrup and the flowers in the mid give it that unisex feel. I think it is delicious. I think it is dangerous smelling. I think it is also very noir, which is appropriate because what I'm talking about is Khadlaj's Fede Opera Noir Lore. Okay. It's really syrupy. It's really dark. And you do smell a little bit of oud in here for sure, but it's really well done. When it says blackcurrant syrup at the top, I do get that fruity smell at the top. It's kind of a jam. And I would consider this definitely a fruity floral that is pretty amber heavy as well. It's warm, it's inviting, but it's a little dangerous. And that is why I gave this perfume by Khadlaj to Edward. I do not know how to say this, but we're just going to go with it. Okay, so let's talk about Jacob. Of course, he's a couple years younger than Bella, but he turns out to be the hottest one. I mean, that's just my opinion. I've always been Team Jacob. Like, Edward, what are you doing? Ugh. I think Jacob would smell very woodsy. I think he would smell delicious because he's beautiful. And I think he has a really good heart. So in order to memorialize Jacob in a perfume, in a Middle Eastern perfume, to be more frank, I gave him a Fragrance World dupe of, and I'm not sure how to say this, Boadicea, not sure. The Glorious Hero. And the fragrance that I'm talking about is Mocha Wood. Chocolate woods, guys. Delicious. So masculine. Very sweet, however. It's a super woody, warm, spicy, sweet scent. Okay? So the notes are coffee, saffron, hazelnut, rhubarb, and ylang ylang in the top. Mid notes of rose, tobacco, tonka bean, patchouli, sandalwood, and base notes of Indian oud, Siam benzoin, and gaiac wood and balsam fir. So it's woody, it's warm, it's spicy. It's extremely manly, in my opinion, but it does have a little bit of that chocolate in there, that chocolate feel. There's not a chocolate note, but there is a chocolate sweetness to me. I love this. This is a 10 out of 10 fragrance for me. I'm giving it to Jacob because he deserves it. Let's talk about Carlisle. He's the head of the Cullen clan. He's the leader of the coven. I wanted to give him something that looked good, that smelled good, and that was very traditional and old, that would still carry forward into modern times, like Carlisle himself. So what I went for was Swiss Arabian's Rose Malaki or Malaki. I'm not sure how to say it, but it is nothing but rose, oud, and woody notes. And to me, this makes it very traditionally Middle Eastern. It is a stunning scent. It's definitely unisex because of that rose. Love the smell. The bottle looks like something he could have carried with him from when he turned to now. And so Carlisle gets Rose Malaki by Swiss Arabian. This indeed is an oil, if you were wondering. I don't know that they make this in a perfume, but it's delicious. Esme, as the adoptive mother of the Cullen clan, is going to get Ginger Babe because she's motherly, she's warm, she's sweet as far as vampires go. And yet there's something about this that is a little spicy. And I thought this fit Esme really well. So Esme gets Ginger Babe. This is a definite like Christmassy gingerbread scent. This is supposed to be a dupe of Joe Malone's Ginger Biscuit. So I went ahead and gave this to Esme as the mother of the Cullen clan. Next is Rosalie. I wanted to give Rosalie a very feminine scent because she's beautiful and she's very feminine, but at the same time, she's kind of a bitch. So this is going to be a very sorority girl kind of smell, but not something that couldn't be worn by a vampire, if that makes sense. So I gave her Afrah Sensual, which is newer on the market. It has top notes of raspberry lychee, black currant, pink pepper, and grape. And although, yes, it is rather in that Delina line, it is not a dupe because that grape, I can smell that as well. And it's a different scent profile. It's got mid notes of rose, magnolia, benzoin, jasmine, and peony, and base notes of amber, patchouli, cedarwood, vanilla, and musk. Gorgeous scent. Kind of bitchy. Definitely super strong, powerful female vibes. And I gave this to Rosalie as a result. I don't know about you ladies or gentlemen, but I have always had a soft spot for a bad boy. And when it comes to Jasper, he's got to smell like a bad boy. So I gave him Maison Alhambra's smoked oud and vanilla. This has top notes of coriander, saffron, mid notes of coffee, daffodil, and plumeria, and base notes of mahogany wood, suede, tobacco, and vanilla. It smells scrumptious. It smells expensive. It smells bad boy all the way. And that tobacco in this profile is to die for. It's woody. This is also supposedly a dupe for Tom Ford's Private Blend Vanilla Vital. So I love this smell. It is unisex. I could wear this absolutely, but it's leaning more masculine to me. I just see a bad boy like Jasper wearing this, and so I'm down. I'm down to smell this scent on a guy, to be honest. I will wear this. I have worn it. I love it. It's stunning, but I think this is a perfect selection for Jasper. What do you think? Let's talk about our little pixie Alice next. She has foresight as well as being a vampire, right? She's kind of psychic as well as being a vampire. That's her enhanced feature. So for Alice, I really wanted to give her something very special. She's also so warm and sweet to Bella. So what I landed on was Paris Corner's Emir Identity Oud Crescent. It has top notes of raspberry, lychee, and saffron, mid notes of Turkish rose, olibanum, red berries, red currant, violet, base notes of agarwood, which is oud, leather, patchouli, amber, and sandalwood. And it is supposedly a dupe of The Moon by Frederick Malley. I'm not sure. Malle. Guys, I'm so sorry I'm butchering that. I know he's a really famous nose, so my bad. It's fruity. It's oudy. There is something otherworldly about this. There's something very sweet, and there's something very strong about this, but also reserved. Like someone who has a lot of power but is holding back. They don't want you to know how strong they are. And because of that fruitiness, it definitely is a unisex scent, especially because the base has a very masculine feel to me. But the top and the mid are so fruity and so floral as well, even though the fruits are a lot more forward, that I think that Alice could pull this off tremendously, as well as any woman could as well. But I love this scent, and this is a 10 out of 10, and it goes to Alice. Okay, let's talk about Emmett. He's the vampire with all the super strength. He is gotta be a gym bro type, but I didn't want to do that to him. However, to pay homage to his strength and his sexiness and his Emmett-ness, I went ahead and gave him Voux Zingy by Paris Corner. And this is supposedly a dupe for Xerjoff's Torino 21. It's very citrus forward. and super sexy. But I feel like a gem bro could pull this off. Maybe when they're not in the gem, maybe when they are in the gem, because the citrus is there. There's something about this to me that is not a freshie. Let's look at the note. It's got top notes of basil, bergamot, Italian citron, and lemon. So we have that citrus top. Then heart notes of jasmine, ambertolide, I don't know what that is, and verbena, and base notes of musk. So to me, this is a lot less fresh, and perhaps it's that aromatic opening with the basil and the Italian citron that keep it from being just a typical gym freshie, but it definitely has that citrus vibe as well. So I think this would be a great way for Emmett to smell. What do you guys think? Before I give our big bads any fragrances, let's go to the Volturi. I wanted the Volturi to have a very interesting ancient smell that was as repulsive as it is intoxicating, because they're like super ancient, dangerous vampires. But vampires, of course, have to be alluring. We all know that. So I couldn't think of anything that would do the job any better than Lattafa's Nasheet. This is an incredibly stunning scent. It smells ancient to me. Nasheet is a woody, amber, spicy scent. When I smell this, I smell a lot of anise, which is that black licorice smell, and it is delicious. It has top notes of gaiac wood, mid notes of nutmeg, and base notes of frankincense, cashmere, and sandalwood. So, of course, this has an ancient feel with some of those extremely valuable and older spices that are a part of it. It does kind of have a little bit of a pencil shaving scent. This is supposedly a dupe for Nishani's Ani, which I've heard is incredible. I love this smell. It smells powerful. It smells old, just like the Volturi, and that's why I gave this scent to them. We got to go with the wolf pack next. This is Jacob's Bros. All the guys on the reservation that have the werewolf gene in their blood, they all have to smell spicy, woody, a little bit smoky, and in this case, super ambery. They're warm and inviting. They are alive. They are different than those vampires. They have blood coursing through them, and you can smell it on them. So we wanted something with a little bit of an animalic smell. This one really doesn't have that, but it just smells good. I went ahead and went with Lattafa's Maharjan Gold. This is the bottle. It's really interesting, to say the least. It has top notes of pepper and lavender, mid notes of incense, tuberose and jasmine, and base notes of caramel. Yes, caramel, amber, cedarwood, and cashmere. To me, this is very warm. It's very inviting. There is a extremely strong masculine vibe with that opening of the pepper and the lavender, and also with that cedarwood base. And the incense in the mid also lends it that masculine feel. But it smells really manly, and there is a little bit of a woody feel from some of the spices and the cedar wood in the bottom. But this is a lot less woody than what I could have chosen. I just think this is a beautiful masculine scent, and so the guys who are, you know, going to school and living their lives could smell like this, and then when they turn into werewolves, maybe add a little bit of oud to this one, and we're good to go for the scent. So there we go. That is Maharjan Gold by Lattafa for our wolf pack. And then finally, I wanted to give a nod to our big bads. We have James from the first movie and Victoria from the second, and that's where we're going to end the video. I know that James was a trapper back in his day, and you know, in the 1600s or whatever, before he got turned. And so I really thought about doing something extremely woody for him. And I thought Victoria, you know, I didn't know what to do for her either. So when I came up with this idea, I kind of settled on it making sense to me. Much like kings and queens in chess, we have James and Victoria as each other's king and queen. James is the king of his coven, if you will, or was at one point, and Victoria is even more of a big bad. She's dangerous, like you know, the kings and queens in chess sets. The king is the man until he isn't, and then the queen really has the most power. So I went ahead and gave each of them matching fragrances by Lattafa. These are older. They're incredible. Oh my gosh, they're both delicious, but they're older, so they're also really affordable. If you don't have these, what are you doing? We have Ansaam Gold and Ansaam Silver by Lattafa. So Ansaam Gold is supposedly a dupe for Oriana, and this is Victoria's scent. And then we have James's scent, which is Ansaam Silver, which is supposedly a dupe for Azura's Most Wanted Intense. That being said, let's go through the breakdown for each of these. Let's start with James, since he's the less powerful of the two. He's got top notes of cardamom and bergamot, mid notes of lavender and divana, and base notes of vanilla, amber, and patchouli. This is just a sexy going out scent for a guy. I wouldn't wear this to the office. I would wear this as a male. to go out, to eat dinner, to go out on the town. It's a very sexy scent, but because of the Divana and the patchouli, it's got some spice to it. It's definitely an aromatic scent, and I think James would smell like this because he's been around for a really long ass time, and he knows what is going to attract prey like Bella, and so he's going to smell like this. He's going to come out swinging. He's ready to get her. Then we've got the sweet, fruity Oriana dupe Ansaam Silver here, or Ansaam Gold here, and this has top notes of mandarin orange and pear. Sweet notes, jasmine and rose in the mid, and base notes of vanilla, musk, and raspberry. Definitely a marshmallowy feel with Oriana. It's super sweet, super playful, super fun. But that being said, I love this for Victoria, not only because it's red like her hair, but also because you don't really know how powerful she is until she attacks. And I think that a lot of women who wear this would fit that same profile. So that is what I gave James and Victoria, and those will complete our video. I know how ridiculous my videos are, guys. I just want to, before I end this video, let you know that I am so grateful for anyone who watches this ridiculousness and who appreciates the fun that I'm having with my perfume, as I'm also trying to review some of these fragrances for you to let you know what they smell like, whether they're worth getting, how I view the vibe of some of these perfumes through a little more entertaining outlet, I hope. And I am happy to take requests at this point for what else you would like to see. I have a ton of other things lined up, so I hope you don't mind subscribing and keeping watching. And I thank you so much for all the support you've already shown me. Have a great one, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.